No. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Are we all energetic, enthusiastic?
Yes.
Come from holiday? Ready to make money? September month has come. Yeah? HMOs or developing or constructions or property. We are all here to make money or already making money. Why am I doing this all? To earn the net profit or profit. And then after profit, I take home. But in between the profit and what I take home, there is something called taxation. This is applicable to those who are good British citizens, not to those who are not declaring anything. But in between them is the taxation side. Now, I've seen a lot of raise of hands in terms of those people who are doing the HMOs or those who want to do HMOs. Why do you want to do HMOs? Because you can see, you can envisage the profits. You can envisage yourself making some money, making yourself more freedom time, doing more money, so on and so forth. Having said that, apart from yourself, there is someone else also who have envisaged this. And hence the reason, in the UK, if any industry or any industry or economy has been hit hard in the last 4 years, then it's the real estate, and particularly the residential properties. And I just aim to give you the highlights of what has happened by the revenue and custom in the last 4 years attacking real estate industry, particularly to generate more taxation. As you can see, you can make profits. They are realizing, yes, these guys are making profits. Let us try and collect more taxation from them, which we could not or may not have done in the past. So this is just all happening now in the last 4 years, not before that. In the last span of 4 to 5 years, what has happened? Let's just have a glimpse of it. I don't think I would be able to do the incorporation planning or trust planning, but let's just look at what taxation aspects HMRC has come up with. I would start off with the non-residents, because those who are residents would obviously pay the income tax or capital gains tax or inheritance tax. But let us look at the non-resident, those who do not live in the UK for a certain period of days. Previously, they didn't used to pay any taxation. So if I were to buy a property and sell the property before a particular period of time, and if I've bought a property for £500,000, sold it for £1 million, made a profit of £500,000, I have not paid even a penny. HMRC realized it and thought, no, we are going to start charging you the capital gains tax now. And this has just occurred from 6th of April 2015. So if I had a property in 1995, I sold it in 2005 with a profit or gain or whatever, I would have not paid any tax. So HMRC came up with this brilliant idea of taxing individual, but only when they buy and sell residential property from 6th of April 2015. Then these non-resident became smart, thinking, okay, you're going to tax me if I were to buy a residential property. What if I buy the same property through company? And if I'm smart enough, I would just buy from offshore company, a BVI company or Isle of Man company. So here, it's not myself, it's the company buying it. And, well, even if it's company UK buying it, it's a corporation tax which I'm paying and not the capital gains tax. And more importantly, if I were to buy a non-residential property, then it's not ticking any of these boxes. So I should not be paying any capital gains tax. So they have come up with much more smarter plan. Then this is just implemented now, this year. 6th of April 2019, just now. That now, from now onwards, non-residents, landlords would be subject to capital gains tax, whether they own the property or interest within the UK property, whether it's a residential, non-residential, individual, company, whatever. Let's come to the residents. So these guys were not paying taxation at all. What about those who are already paying taxation? But are they paying enough? Maybe, but we want more from them because these guys are making a lot of money. They're going to make extraordinary profits from extraordinary properties and so on and so forth. But then let's try and make extraordinary taxation from them, because what is more important? After you have made all the profits, what's more important is what you have taken home. If you have made £1 million profit, you have paid £500,000 taxation. That's a huge sum. I would love to do something to minimize my taxation aspect. Somebody said 47,500 employment study, that would be great, but then having said that, the only distinction between an employee and the fact that you want all your freedom is the fact that you can organize your tax affairs. If I were to work for yourself, I would get something called PAYE, tax and national insurance deducted at source. I have no control. You guys are lucky if you have got your own business or you aim to have your own business, because then that way you can plan your tax affairs. But then before planning, let us assess what is there in store for us. We are all aware of this. We've all heard a big time story of incorporating a property portfolio and so on and so forth. So on the income tax, finance cost taxation, that means if I've got a property, I've rented it out, and if I'm paying mortgage interest, I used to deduct that mortgage interest before coming to a profit. From now onwards, I may not be able to. But that's not that bad news as much as the tax advisors have been giving you as a bad news, which I'll come to you later. So that's one aspect. Started from 6th of April 2017. This is all happening now. Now. Just now. Last 3-4 years. Because even before happening this one, many of those have already incorporated the property portfolio. So for them, those who have incorporated the property portfolio, they could withdraw the dividend by paying lower